Yo, what's up, MLA crew? Today we're at the Via Valenti household and we're hitting a home session because it's raining.
Yeah.
So we got a bunch of equipment over here. Of course, you've got your classic dumbbells, but then you also have parallettes. Things are awesome for handstands, deep push-ups. We also have a portable dip bar over here for front levers and just your classic dips, of course. And then your classic floor as well. Can't go wrong with a bit of floor.
Mate, can we quickly get a bit of a house tour, because I want to set the scene. And one cool thing about this video, I literally messaged Isaac about half an hour ago and said, mate, let me come over. Let's do some handstands. Let's do a bit of a training session. He's like, bang, yeah. And that's what I love about these guys. They are always ready to go. Mate, let's give him a little house tour. I'm gonna get that camera. So show us what we got.
This is what we're working with over here. We've got the laptop to control the music. Got the camera, always on surveillance. Whiteboard for activity. Jordan's room's there. Cam works here. Tyler's here.
Yeah.
And this is like the podcast couch. You can kind of see like this room. It's really inclusive. It's really work oriented, and work for us is also like fitness as well. If we step in over here, then this is where the vibe completely changes. So we have like the couch, the dining table. We have the TV, Nintendo Switch for a little bit of downtime. That's Tyler.
Look at this beautiful man. That's one thing. I think shirts in this house are like, is it? I was gonna say, what is this guy doing? What's in the kitchen, mate? Can I have a look at the kitchen?
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is Give us a look at this kitchen.
There's a datey in the kitchen.
Hey? What are you cooking? Some electro.
Should have protein.
Protein.
Yeah, this is
where all the cooking happens.
It's cooking time with Isaac.
Yeah, definitely.
So you've literally created, I think the amazing thing about this house is you've created this training ecosystem where you've got your kitchen, you've got your chill area, and then you've constantly got the ability to just walk past some parallettes and do a handstand or do a push-up. What do you call it? Greasing the groove?
Oh,
Explain that concept.
So greasing the groove is, instead of you training twice a day or once a day and doing cardio and then doing strength training, we're actually working on skills. And skills, just like playing the piano, just like playing the guitar, isn't completely reliant on single intense sessions. It's more of a frequency over intensity kind of thing. So if you're trying to develop the skill of doing a handstand, instead of just training it once for 15 minutes a day, you'll put it into little blocks throughout your day and just develop that brain pattern over time.
That's one thing that I'll say is, when you can walk through, don't be shy. When you boys taught me how to do the handstand, I actually did exactly that. I didn't just set aside 10 minutes in an afternoon to do it. It was something that I just kind of threw in throughout the day. It could be like an ad break, on the TV. I got my bars in the lounge room, pop out a handstand, or I was even doing handstand practice before an upper body workout. So it was just drip feeding it throughout the entire week, and I think it's an insanely effective way to train, and you guys do it the best. So I reckon today, I just want to go through some handstand stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm going to try really hard to not do anything else besides a handstand, because I'm in this severe state of overtraining. But we'll see. We'll see how we go.
Yeah.
Let's get into that room.
Well, I do want to show you the food that we have in this house, because a really important part of fitness is nutrition. It's basically 60% of the work, from the time that you wake up to the moment that you feel yourself, and then for post training and then settling down at night. Everything that goes into your body matters just as much as the force that you exert out. So if we open the fridges, right?
We got 2 fridges, by the way.
2 fridges. You don't really see much junk food here. We got meat that's dry brining. We got homemade baked stuff, and we got fruits, and we have,
sugar-free drinks.
Sugar-free drinks.
Nice. Kombucha.
Yep. And then you open this cupboard, or this fridge.
Just meat.
You got a rack of lamb, and you got
go with that. So you're literally resting a lack of lamb. Rack of lamb, ready to go.
Yeah, and just greens and herbs and all these. Yeah. This is homemade pistachio paste and mozzarella.
This guy, cheese meat bread.
This guy ain't just pretty face. He can cook. He can cook. He's going to make an amazing husband one day, aren't you?
Oh yeah, hopefully, definitely.
Let's go do some training. Let's do some training.
Let's go.
Thank you for letting us take the kitchen space just then.
Oh yeah, straight into it.
What about like 10 minutes? Like legit, no warm up, no nothing, straight into it.
This is the warm up. Isn't that how you warm up?
That is the warm up. So when it comes to learning a handstand, as a complete beginner, you just want to get used to being upside down, because if you don't have that fear of falling over, then learning a handstand is super easy, because you want to put everything on your fingers, and that means that you have to stay forward. So definitely the wall is not just for learning posture and alignment and having that endurance in your shoulders and building those stabilizer muscles. It's more of a tool of overcoming fear. And so a good drill is just to basically go into a wall that you have in your house, and everyone has one of these, so it's not really any excuse to just walk up like this, and then once you find your alignment and your balance, just come off, do some foot drills like that, play around with it, and then bail. Boom. Super easy.
You made that look so easy. So a great spot for a beginner is obviously utilize the wall, which is going to, I suppose, help open up your shoulder here, give yourself the endurance through the shoulder, and then just allow you to get used to being, like you said, upside down.
Yeah.
And like falling isn't the end of the world.
Oh yeah, definitely not. And there's so many benefits of being upside down. Stabilizer muscles, you're forced to elevate your scapulars, you're forced to, go up the wall.
Yep.
And just primal movements that every human being should be able to do.
Yeah.
Just
movement.
Yeah, climb.
One thing I think that was a huge benefit when you were teaching me how to do a handstand was the benefit of getting the shoulder mobility, and then also everything that you've got to get right here. So can you just explain on like a side-on position, in a standing position, what a handstand should ideally look like?
Oh yeah, so like when you're doing a handstand, if your shoulder's like this, then you're constantly going to be putting pressure on your wrist and on your shoulder joint over here. So if you have shoulder mobility, then this joint will go from here to here, and so the angle is much more better. So you're not going to get wrist tendonitis, you're not going to get all these weird joint pains. And so if your shoulders are warmed up and they're really mobile and stretched, then it's really good. But then your core also doesn't want to be like that, because then you do something called a banana back handstand, which looks pretty ugly and it's harder to balance. So you also need to have a hollow core position, kind of like a boat, like this. And so when you're doing a handstand, this will set you up for different moves like handstand push-ups, 90 degrees, planche holds.
Is there a cue to get that? So, to move from say that banana position to get the stomach right, is there like a mental and physical cue that you can use to like pull yourself into that position?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So if you want to have good core positioning, all it really is scapular elevation, because when you elevate your scapulars, it strengthens your entire kinetic chain. So if you relax like this, then your whole body will slump like that. But if you really push through the floor and elevate like that, then it pulls your whole kinetic chain together.
So it'd sort of be like if you're holding on to some dumbbells, yeah?
Yeah.
Instead of being there, you want to focus on that.
Yeah, that massive stretch is what pulls it. People think that core strength is just your abs, but no, it's your whole entire body line. So when you push through upper body, then you drag everything up, and then when you squeeze your glutes, then it makes your pelvis go forward like this, and it also turns on your core. And that combined with scapular elevation is that entire kinetic chain being activated in the handstand.
I found one thing for me, when I was doing handstands as well in the beginning stages, and trust me, I'm still like no way near where these guys are, but it was like an accumulation of almost just knowing those cues, but repeat. And then I remember one day it was like, oh, I caught it. Instead of holding a handstand for 1 second, I'd have 2 seconds and then 3 seconds. But it was just a case of like doing it every single day on repeat. And now it's almost like it's like a learned behavior, a learned movement. Although I don't do them as often anymore, I still feel like it's kind of like riding a bike now.
Yeah.
Because I put that time in.
Oh yeah, for sure. And just like riding a bike, just like playing the guitar, you don't take rest days.
Yeah.
You know, you just either play the guitar less, or you just don't, play as hard of a pace.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
when you ride, you don't ride as hard. You maybe turn down the gears a
Dial
little
it
bit.
down a bit.
Yeah, and you don't ride for as long. So with handstands, it's an everyday thing. If you want to get results in it, then you want to practice every day, and also doesn't take that much strength.
Yeah.
Just more of a mental and skill thing.
Yeah. Might get the parallettes out, I think.
Oh yeah.
Because
star of the show.
one thing I will say, and I don't know if this is just an old man thing or like a mobility thing, but like I actually can't do an actual handstand on my hands. I can't get the mobility, I can't get the range, my wrists hate it, so I learned on parallettes. It's all I know how to do. So for today, we might just stick to parallettes.
Yeah. These things, I mean, so it's a neutral wrist angle, so instead of having your hand like this, where your joints are crunched, you actually have all your joints stacked on top of each other. So look how like my carpals are in line with like my forearm bones.
Yeah.
And then you just put it on like this.
It's I would say that if you're prone to having like dodgy wrists, that neutral hand position is going to be a lot more favourable for a lot of people. And would you argue that it's probably easier to learn how to do a handstand on a parallel?
You're better at what you practice.
Yeah, okay.
So if you're like a gymnast and you've been just doing stuff on the floor as a kid your whole life, then you'll have an easier time over here. But if you're like more of like a hand balancing kind of person, or you just have like joint issues and you practice most of your handstand stuff over here, then this will be your best instrument. But I will say that when you do want to do more complex movements like handstand push-ups and planches, then there's a better carryover if you learn handstand here, because it actually is easier to do a planche on the parallettes than it is to do it on the floor.
Yeah. All right, let's pump out some handstands.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's been a while. I shouldn't say it's been a while. I did one the other day, but do you know what I find too? Like when I go in to do handstands again, it's like even having the environment, like you get used to doing a handstand in like one environment, and then you come into another space to do it, and it feels a little bit foreign. So feeling good everywhere is like,
oh yeah.
Let's see how we go with this first kick up. See, even they're a little bit thicker than mine. I can feel that already.
Wait. That's good. Look at that line, like butt squeeze, scaps elevated. That's good warm up.
Bloody warm.
Yeah.
Bust one out for us, mate. What do you think about that position too? Like, is that too wide, or what you sort of...
You just want to go by like your shoulder. You just throw your arms up, boom.
Yeah.
This is how I want to handstand.
Okay.
I just don't think about it. So if you're watching this and you're a bit narrower than us, then just throw your arms up, elevate your scaps, and wherever your hands lie is just
That's a
how
good
you
point.
do it.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and there's varying heights.
See, I'm pretty wide then, I guess, didn't I?
Well, there's different parallettes and different parallettes at different heights as well. So sometimes when you're at the gym, you might be faced with the decision of, do I do it on these ones? Do I do it on these ones? Do I do it on these ones? But if you're working as a beginner on parallettes that are close to the ground, you're gonna have a much better time than using those big, thick metal ones that you see in the functional zone, because you have to kick up higher.
Yeah.
So say you're doing on parallettes like this, then you need to have a bigger kick up and to get into the balance zone.
Yeah.
Whereas over here, your legs are already up, and so it's a massive difference.
I will back you up on that. I know for a fact, even now for me, kicking up on a lower P-bar as opposed to a higher one, much easier.
Yeah.
I've got to think a lot more about that, and I won't get that first time every time that I'm falling and carrying on.
Yeah. You need to do a little bit of like a handstand push-up and kick at the same time if you want to do high. So you pay attention to me. And this is the type of parallel you'll find in the functional zone. You need to push Whereas this one, you just go up like this.
Oh. Even the professionals have their days off. Boom. One thing I know as well, something that was a huge benefit to me when I was learning how to do handstands, I didn't realize how much balance and stability actually comes through your wrists. You may not be able to see it, but there's so many of these tiny little micro adjustments that are happening back and forth through the wrist, through the fingers, through the thumbs. And when I realized that I could actually kick up and then like catch myself,
yeah,
that was actually a game changer. I remember the day that I did that, I was like, holy, I've just like literally unlocked like a superpower just by going bang.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Chalking up.
Yeah.
There's not many houses where you'll just find all this equipment in a lounge room.
Yeah.
And chalking
it's like
up.
Just the right amount that you need.
Yeah, not too much.
You don't need a whole gym. Like, if I was to pick one piece of equipment, it'll just be these low ones. Just so you don't have any wrist pain, you can train it for a little bit longer. And that's pretty much it.
Yep.
You just need these little bars, if even, and then you have like just your surrounding environment. Pretty much.
Show us something cool now, mate. You warmed up?
Yeah, let's do it.
These guys are bloody elite. Even the guy holding the camera, Cam the man.
Cam the man.
Cam the sexy man. I'm fueled up. I'm ready.
I mean, just the amount of time that took. That was a good 30 seconds of physical and mental exertion.
Yeah, definitely pushing 12 seconds like hypertrophic.
Yeah.
Like combos that we'll do for this, you work a lot of different muscles. So you're not just like doing an isolation movement for 12 seconds. Working like the delts, working serratus, working core, and then isometrically, and then dynamically. That's why combinations are so unique to calisthenics.
Yeah. And I think that one thing I found when I started doing Cali is my central nervous system took a little bit longer to recover.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I'd come to the park and I'd do a session, and then I'd come back the next day, not necessarily feeling like muscularly fatigued, but then I'd go into like perform a handstand or like a 90 or something like that, and I just didn't have that connection. It sort of like just dipped out. And that's when I realized, like, for me anyway, central nervous system just took way longer to recover. Like way longer than just like a traditional strength training session, to be completely honest. I don't know if it's because it was new to me back then, but it took me way longer to recover.
Yeah, that's because this central nervous system, it goes from just being like something that's at the back of your mind when you're strength training in the gym, to it being an actual muscle that you train.
Yeah.
So when you do calisthenics, each session that you go into and you're learning a new skill and you're learning a new part of your body, then it takes a toll, but then it also comes back and builds up stronger.
Yeah. You got to think about everything too. Like, I don't know, it doesn't matter what day of the week it is. Like, you can walk into the gym and do a bicep curl. It's just like, okay, easy. You can even do a bicep curl or a leg extension or a hamstring curl and think about what you're having for dinner. Think about what you're doing tomorrow. But when you're doing Cali, it forces you to be 100% present with everything that you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Because the second that your brain sort of deviates and thinks about something else, boom, balance lost.
Yeah.
For me anyway, maybe not for you.
There are some sessions where I just want to like do it, and then I just jump back on my phone and just like scroll and that kind of stuff. Like, definitely in the present moment, you're not thinking about anything else, which for calisthenics.
Yeah, which is good. Good time out. Cam, give us a look at what you got, mate. You want to pump out a handstand?
Righto.
Get in there. Boom. How long you been doing Cali, Cam?
Little less than 2 years now.
Very strong.
Nice.
Very strong. Not even warmed up, mate.
That is a warm up.
Hey? That's the warm up.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually warm up after my injury.
I am like king of warm ups now. Like I have to, otherwise I'm just like, it just cooks me, hey?
Yeah.
I never used to take my warm up seriously, but now it's just like, I think Cali, rock climbing, arm wrestling, all these sports have taught me that, yeah, you might think your muscles and everything are warmed up, but your ligaments, your tendons, they're still just like,
Yeah.
they're not good to go yet.
I understand.
Nice.
You're still pretty consistent with it.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm not doing them as often as I used to, but I feel like I've just got the movement pattern now.
Yeah.
Like, I very rarely will like kick up into a handstand like this and miss it.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 I'm catching it.
Yeah. It's in your nervous system now. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
riding that bike, like you guys were saying
Yeah, it's
before.
like learning how to ride a bike.
Just
A really
always
hard,
know.
a really hard upside down bike. Get back in there, Isaac.
Yeah.
What else have we got?
I want to show you guys some like beginner exercises. So if you want to do handstand push-ups and you want to do like all these 90-degree handstand push-up movements, then you can't just learn the balance, because balance is just one component. You have to do pike push-ups, and it's basically just emulating the handstand push-up pattern, but you're doing it in a much easier variation. And then the goal is to eventually do that. But like, you start off pretty simple. Just have your hands out shoulder width, how you'd handstand, and try to just find like a triangle where your body is. So let's say this is the tip of the triangle. I want my nose to go onto the ground, not my head. And so my hands like here. Try to find that imaginary triangle. Put my nose over there, and what that does is it stops me from using my triceps too much, because if I aim over here, then my triceps come back, and that's not congruent to the actual handstand movement. So find that angle, and also creep your feet forward enough so that when you do find that triangle position, your feet just naturally lift up.
And what are we looking at for, if we were to talk sets and reps with this, what would be a good place to start?
So
And how frequently?
yeah, so if you want like maximum progress, then you want to combine strength and hypertrophy, because that's just going to help you with getting bigger muscles, which will help you recruit more muscle fibers in the long term. But then you also want to work close to failure so that you are adapting to the movement. So about 12 seconds of work time would typically mean that you're doing 12 reps of a movement in the gym. But if you're doing calisthenics, the handstand push-up, it requires more moving parts, so you can't just rep out in a 1-1 tempo. You have to take things more slowly. So doing 4 really controlled repetitions is much better than doing 12 fast repetitions. So
Can you give us an example of like 4 really nice controlled?
Yep.
Might just move to side on position too, so we can really get the form.
Yeah, so this will be an example of how someone usually does it. 1, 2, 3. It's not really going to help you with the handstand push-up because you need to incorporate balance. So if you walk your feet up, look in front of you and do 4 of these ones.
I can straight away see that there's much more crossover there for a handstand, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. And then if you do it close to failure, you can start to levitate your feet off the ground.
Oh yeah, and just get that little bit of a...
Yeah, I'm pushing closer to like my breaking point.
Yep.
And then eventually...
And I'll tell you right now, things like that may seem just absolutely crazy and impossible, but I once upon a time thought that a handstand was impossible.
Yeah.
But you do all those progressions, and that is actually what I would do. I would practice my handstands, I'd fumble, I'd fall, and in between all of that, I would also be working on like my pike push-ups for shoulder strength and everything as well. You may think, particularly if you're a gym goer, that if you've got like a strong seated dumbbell shoulder press, that you're going to be able to nail a handstand, that you're going to be strong. It is completely different because you're combining balance, mobility, and strength all at once. Most of the things that you do in the gym, you're very safe, you're very set, you're very secure.
Yeah.
This does demand a much different style of training and skill set, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Like typically when I sit down at the gym to do dumbbell presses, if I grab a weight that's really low, maybe like 60% of what I can do for 1 rep, then I can bust them out like that. I grab a heavier weight and now I start to slow down. And this is where I'm like, okay, this is an actual workout.
Yeah.
But for pike push-ups, it's really easy to fall into that trap of how fast can I do it, instead of being how slow can I do it without having to sacrifice effort, but focus more on intent. So by having the nose activation, leaning out more forward and using less of my triceps and floating my feet, I'm able to do it more slowly, which will then make my workout like more harder.
I've actually never tried that feet floating technique. I might give that a go. Just run me through this, make sure that I'm doing this all right.
Yeah.
So about shoulder width with that.
Yep.
So into that pike position.
Yep. So walk
Hips
your,
up.
Yep.
About
walk
there.
Your feet up. Walk your feet up to where my hand is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my god.
Yeah. And even go even more.
Wow.
Now you're starting to feel.
I don't even think I could go into a push-up from there.
Or that's exactly what you want to try.
How's that?
Yeah. So if you do it like this, you won't be able to float your feet up because they need to be much more closer. So you
much
should be having a workout.
So much
without
respect
it
for
going
what
down.
you just did then.
Yeah.
Like on camera. I see, that's even just mobility for me. Like that position, I feel extremely weak there.
So obviously you are strong enough for a handstand push-up.
Yep.
But in order for you to utilize the pike push-up like the most,
Yep.
you need to have that angle with your body, because you can do it like this,
Yep.
but it's easier and if you do this for more reps.
Good thing about calisthenics too is like, so many people think you need a full gym setup to get like an amazing workout. If you know how to utilize your body, hey,
Oh yeah.
you're set.
Beautiful.
Far out. Not today.
And so that's when you can actually benefit from floating with pike push-ups, because you start to just learn that movement pattern in isolation.
Yep.
Yeah. Because you can see that you're falling forward, but you're also trying to battle staying more forward.
Can you show the people
Absolutely.
a dead press
Yeah.
straight from the ground?
So this is a different kind of variation of handstand pushing. It's when you're utilizing more of like a bent arm planche position instead of doing it overhead. So this will be the calisthenics equivalent to a bench press. So if we go back one step and we look at dumbbell press, a harder variation will be doing the calisthenics way, where it's in front of your body and you're using your legs floating up as intensity. Well, for bench press, we're going to go closer down to our center of gravity and we're going to be pushing like that. So a dead press is basically this. But it stems from just doing this movement instead of your classic push-up.
So you're leaning more forward into it, because
Yeah.
if you were too close to it, you couldn't use the mechanics of your body to press you up into that position. I'm sure you probably could if you wanted to, but like it'd be a lot harder if you were further back than further forward.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Give it a shot, just like.
Do you want me to try and go for it?
Oh yeah.
Should I try and go for it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I used to do a fair few of these until, again, something, don't learn from me, because what I do is I find a skill I get obsessed with it, I overdo it, and then I do too much of it, and then I get injured. All right, so if there's anything you can learn from me, take things slower, do the progressions, and when your body tells you that you need to have a rest,
Take it.
take it. All right, we all, for whatever reason, the way that we design, we just do things in extremes, and sometimes it ain't the best way. But then again, being obsessed with something is also really good, because there's a lot of worse things that you can be addicted to, trust me. All right.
There it is. Woosa. Come on, up, up, up.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's it.
You're a little bit excited then.
Not gonna lie, that felt a lot harder than what it used to a few months ago.
Yeah.
But I used to be obsessed with these. Like I would do these every single day for months on end. Got pretty good at them. As you can see, I can still do it, but I don't feel as strong on it, and the overall connection with my body isn't as strong as it once used to be. Pretty intense, but I will say this: these guys taught me how to. They introduced me into calisthenics. They taught me how to do my first muscle up, my first handstand. And I remember we were at the Cali Park one day, and I was doing handstands, and it was Isaac who said, "Oi, go try and do a dead press from the ground." I was like, no way, like I couldn't fathom the idea of doing that, but he could see through my development and what I was doing that it was actually something that was possible. I gave it a crack. I think I got halfway up, but that's all I personally needed to be like, wow, I actually know that I can do that now. And sometimes it takes a coach, and this is why like investing in a coach is such an amazing thing, because I'm talking, you could progress years faster than what you usually would. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You just need someone to be like, well, you can do that. Don't doubt yourself. This is the path. I'm puffed from that. Show us another example, mate. Show us how it's really done.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Some planche push-ups, mate.
Oh, planche push-up.
Yeah.
You gotta get rid of the small boys and start taking out the big guns if you want to do harder stuff, you know? So you can go different routes. You can combine everything that you've trained into like a combo, and this is primarily what I do, or at least for the start of my workouts on a strong day. I'll go for some push-ups, and then when they're hard, then I rest in like an L-sit position, go back into handstand, rest a bit more, and then I do some cool stuff. So let's give it a crack. So these are called planche push-ups. And I'll go L-sit. Rest in the handstand. I'll get a little bit creative with it. And then go 90 degree.
Do you know what's terrifying about all that? Is that you were casually talking about it whilst you were doing it. You were just chatting.
Yeah, well, it's a warm-up for me.
So you would consider that a warm-up
Yeah.
once you've done all your basic like blood flow stuff and everything?
Sometimes, like, I'll just take off my bag, jump into it like straight away. It's a technique I learned from my French coach, and all these amazing athletes. They train these high intensity movements like a skill. If you train for high intensity, then you just get better at training in high intensity.
Yeah.
Because you develop the skill of being under pressure, and your body adapts to that. So whatever you really put your mind to is what you'll get better at. So lots of people, they also fall in the trap of warming up too much, and so then when they do something that's high intense on a random day and they don't have that warm up, it can come as a shock. So there's always two sides of the coin. Because for me, my personal lifestyle is, if I have to be ready, then I have to be ready. Just nature of like what I do. And so jumping into stuff might seem a little bit too advanced for beginners, and definitely don't try if that doesn't match your lifestyle. But yeah, it's what I've been training for.
This guy's just the weapon, so I don't think I'm confident.
Whatever scares you the most is what you should do for growth.
Dark. Oh, see that? Scared. Get up there.
Nice.
Oops. Now we're flying. Control.
I tell you what, man. It just cooks every single muscle in your body, hey. The static hold, the breath, the mind. It feels good. Like, I don't sweat this much with a normal workout.
Yeah.
I don't get this puff with a normal workout. It's so demanding. And I think that's why I love doing a combination of everything now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 36 now, right? And for so many years, all I did was traditional strength training, leg day, back day, chest day. And I've come to realize now that in terms of longevity, it ain't the way to go. I like to use strength training now as like joint health, strength, mobility, but it helps me to perform these things better. And I think adding in some like additional training, it doesn't matter what it is, it could be like calisthenics, some boxing, some tennis, it keeps things fresh. All right, show us one more trick for the people, and then that's going to be a wrap. Show us your most advanced move that you can do at the moment. If you've got one in mind.
Yeah, well, planche will be like the pinnacle of calisthenics because it requires the most amount of leverage and it's got a high barrier to entry. So if you think about handstands and everything, like you can rest in the balanced position and stack all your joints and you're just breathing, you're just chilling. But then when it comes to planche, you're just constantly firing, constantly activated, and it gives a really cool levitation-like effect. So I'll just show you what it is basically. This will be straddle planche. And like all my muscles are just firing. Like you could probably only do like 3 to 6 of these per workout and then you're done. You have to regress, you have to start doing easier progressions, go back to doing handstand push-ups. But in calisthenics training, you go through the hierarchy of fatigue. Most intense stuff and you go all the way down. So planches is usually what I'll start my workouts with.
Just because you literally need the most energy demand for that movement. Yeah.
Think about just holding the heaviest bench press weight that you can do, putting it to the center of your body and not bending your arms.
I think anybody who hasn't tried some form of calisthenics, even just at like a basic level, looking at the planche, most people wouldn't understand how much strength is involved and how many years of dedication and training it takes to actually perform the planche. It defines, in my opinion, everything that the body is meant to not be able to do. There is nothing in life that would ever put you in the position where you had to do a planche. We're not designed to do it, but these guys do it every single day.
Yeah, do it for fun.
Do it for fun. Give us an example. You ready? You rested?
Oh yeah, mate. I'm always ready. It's for situations like these where people would just be like, oh, Isaac, do something cool. Is exactly what I train for. Like, my training revolves around not having warm-ups because I need to have the most intense thing as the warm-up, because if I don't, then I will get injured. So, food for thought.
Grand finale. This is going to be the final cut right here, mate. Send us out. absolute weapon. Love it. These boys are weapons. Time for a coffee.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Catch us on the next one. Yoo!